The Crucible is set in 1692 in the Puritan town of Salem, Massachusetts, where a strict theocratic society fosters an environment of fear and suspicion. The play opens with Reverend Paris discovering his daughter Betty, niece Abigail Williams, and other girls dancing in the forest, sparking rumors of witchcraft. This incident not only ignites the witch hunt but also highlights the repressive nature of Puritan society, where such innocent activities are forbidden and feared. Miller uses this setting to critique the dangers of extremism and the suppression of individual freedoms. The girls' forbidden activities in the forest, including Tatuba's conjuring, lead to Betty's mysterious illness. To deflect blame and avoid punishment, the girls, led by Abigail, begin accusing others in the town of consorting with the devil. Their false accusations serve as a means to shift scrutiny away from themselves, showcasing how fear can be weaponized. This marks the beginning of a frenzy that engulfs the entire community. As the fear of witchcraft spreads, the town descends into chaos. Characters like Ann Putnam seize the opportunity to explain personal tragedies and grievances through the lens of supernatural influence, fueling the mass hysteria. The collective panic allows old grudges and jealousy to surface, turning neighbor against neighbor. This environment reveals how hysteria can override rational thought and justice. John Proctor, a local farmer, becomes central to the narrative. He harbors a secret affair with Abigail Williams, which creates tension and underpins many of the ensuing conflicts. His guilt over the infidelity strains his marriage with his wife, Elizabeth. Proctor's internal struggle symbolizes the theme of personal integrity versus public reputation. His character embodies the conflict between individual desires and societal expectations. Abigail uses the witch trials to seek revenge against Elizabeth Proctor, hoping to remove her and rekindle the affair with John. Her manipulative nature demonstrates the destructive power of unchecked desires within a rigid society. Abigail's actions illustrate how personal vendettas can exploit communal fears, leading to widespread devastation. She represents the dangers of deceit and the corruption of innocence. Reverend Hale, an expert in witchcraft, arrives to investigate. Initially confident in his knowledge, he becomes a tool in the spread of accusations, inadvertently legitimizing the girls' claims and intensifying the trials. As the trials progress, Hale begins to doubt the validity of the accusations, highlighting the conflict between ideology and conscience. His transformation underscores the theme of personal responsibility in the face of injustice. Elizabeth Proctor is arrested after Abigail accuses her of witchcraft. John Proctor faces a moral dilemma: to save his wife by confessing his adultery and exposing Abigail's lies, risking his own reputation. This pivotal moment forces Proctor to confront his past sins and consider the greater good over his personal shame. It emphasizes the theme of sacrifice and the cost of truth. Proctor brings their servant, Mary Warren, to court to testify that the girls are pretending. Mary initially agrees but struggles under the immense pressure and fear of retribution from the other girls. The courtroom scene becomes a battleground of wills, showcasing the power of mass hysteria over individual truth. Mary's ultimate failure to stand firm reflects the oppressive influence of the group over the individual. Abigail masterfully manipulates the court by feigning visions and accusing Mary of witchcraft. Overwhelmed, Mary recants her confession and accuses Proctor of being aligned with the devil, leading to his arrest. This turning point demonstrates how easily truth can be subverted when fear dominates. It also highlights the tragic consequences of falsehoods perpetuated by those seeking power. Imprisoned and facing execution, Proctor grapples with his conscience. He is offered a chance to save himself by signing a false confession but ultimately refuses, choosing personal integrity over self-preservation. Proctor's decision serves as a powerful statement on the importance of personal honor and the courage to stand by one's principles. His fate becomes a testament to the human spirit's resilience. The play delves deep into the importance of one's name and reputation in a tightly knit community. Characters like Proctor and Rebecca Nurse prioritize their moral integrity over societal acceptance or survival. Their choices underscore the theme that true integrity involves staying true to oneself, even in the face of death. This contrasts sharply with other characters who compromise their values for safety or gain. The Crucible illustrates how fear can override reason, leading to a collective panic where truth becomes obscured. The witch trials symbolize the destructive power of hysteria in eroding community bonds and justice. Miller showcases how quickly society can disintegrate when paranoia takes hold, serving as a warning against the dangers of mob mentality. The play encourages vigilance against such societal pitfalls. Arthur Miller uses the Salem witch trials as an allegory for the McCarthy-era's anti-communist hysteria. The play critiques how baseless accusations and fear-mongering can lead to the persecution of innocent people. By drawing parallels between the two periods, Miller exposes the recurring patterns of injustice fueled by fear. The play serves as a timeless reminder of the consequences of allowing fear to dictate actions. The play scrutinizes those in positions of power, such as Judge Danforth and Reverend Paris, who prioritize the preservation of their authority over truth and justice, exacerbating the tragedy. Their refusal to acknowledge the possibility of falsehood in the trials highlights how authority figures can perpetuate injustice to maintain control. This critique emphasizes the need for accountability in leadership. In the climax, Proctor redeems himself by tearing up his false confession, choosing to die honorably rather than live with a lie. His stand highlights the theme of personal integrity and the human capacity for redemption. His martyrdom ultimately serves as a moral beacon for others, illustrating the profound impact one individual's courage can have. Proctor's choice restores his sense of self-worth and leaves a legacy of resistance against tyranny. The Crucible concludes with the execution of Proctor and others, serving as a poignant commentary on the consequences of fear-driven societies. Miller emphasizes the necessity of courage and integrity in the face of injustice and the enduring human struggle between truth and survival. The play leaves the audience with a stark warning about the cost of complacency and the importance of standing up against mass hysteria. It calls for reflection on the values that define humanity and justice. Please consider subscribing if you enjoyed this summary. This will help us continue to create content. See you in the next video.